You might think a small fall is no big deal. A patient of mine once slipped on a wet kitchen floor, a fall so minor it barely knocked her off her feet. Yet it shattered her wrist. Why? Because her bones were silently dissolving, and she had missed every single warning sign. But it wasn't because she was clumsy. It was due to 5 subtle habits and changes that signaled a hidden crisis, and you might be overlooking one of these signs right now. Hello, I'm Dr. Miller, and today I want to share a story about a patient I will never, ever forget. Her name is Mary, a 68-year-old retired seamstress from a quiet town in Florida. Mary was a woman who had spent her entire life working with precision, a woman whose gentle strength was her very identity. She loved sewing, especially making quilts, and she was always on the move, a whirlwind of calm energy. When Mary first walked into my clinic, it was a warm, sun-drenched afternoon in late May. She wasn't just walking, she was shuffling. She clutched her swollen wrist, a splint holding it together, and her shoulders were slightly hunched, as if she were protecting herself from a blow that had already landed. Every step she took was cautious, a slow and hesitant drag. It was as if she were trying to balance on a cracked sheet of ice, not just a clinic hallway. She told me, her voice a soft, shaky whisper, that she had worked at her sewing machine for over 40 years. She used to be able to lift heavy bolts of fabric, cut patterns with absolute precision, and create beautiful garments. But in the last 3 years, she said, her back had begun to ache, her movements felt stiff, and she'd started to feel smaller. She couldn't lift a small sewing machine without a sharp twinge in her wrist. She couldn't even finish her beloved quilts anymore. I asked her, my voice soft, "Mary, what's wrong? What are you feeling?" She looked up at me, her eyes tired but full of a quiet sadness, and she gave me a weary, heartbreaking smile. She said something that still echoes in my mind to this day. "Doctor, I feel like I'm just melting away. My own body has betrayed me. It's like all the hard work I put in, all the strength I built, is just dissolving." In that moment, I didn't just see a woman with a broken wrist. I saw a woman whose joy had been stolen. I saw a woman who had lost her independence, her pride, and her ability to do the simple things that gave her life meaning. I saw a seamstress who couldn't continue her life's work, a wife who couldn't help her husband with chores, and a woman who felt like a ghost in her own body. And now I want to share with you what I discovered. I want to reveal the 5 silent warning signs of osteoporosis that Mary missed for years, signs that were secretly and systematically weakening her bones. I'll also share the simple, easy-to-follow changes we made that helped her not just stop the bone loss, but actually begin to rebuild her strength. If you find this video helpful, please do me a favor and type 1 in the comments. It lets me know that this message is reaching the people who need it most. And if you have any questions or health concerns, please leave a comment below. We promise to read and answer every one. Please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our helpful health videos. Let's get started. The 5 silent warning signs. 1. Height loss, the squashed spine. When I first asked Mary about her health history, she mentioned that she had noticed her clothes fitting differently, and not because of weight loss. "My skirts seem longer than they used to be," she said with a puzzled frown. This was a classic early warning sign, one that many people dismiss as just getting old. I explained to her, "Mary, think of your spine like a stack of soft marshmallows. When they're fresh, they're plump and firm. But over time, if they lose their structure, they start to compress and squash down. That's what happens to your vertebrae when osteoporosis sets in. The loss of bone density makes them fragile and prone to tiny compression fractures, which cause you to lose height." She looked at me, a flicker of concern in her eyes. "But doctor, I've always been about 5 feet 4 inches. How can I be shrinking?" I understood her skepticism. "It's not suddenly, Mary. It's like a slow leak from a tire. A small bit of air loss isn't noticeable at first, but after a few years, that tire goes flat. A study by the Mayo Clinic found that a height loss of more than 1.5 inches, 4 cm, can be a significant sign of osteoporosis-related compression fractures. It's a key indicator we should never ignore. She sighed. So my clothes fitting differently wasn't just a quirk? It was a warning? Exactly, I reassured her. But we can catch it now. The good news is, the solution is simple. If you or a loved one are experiencing noticeable height loss, do not dismiss it. It is not an inevitable part of aging. It's a serious medical red flag that warrants a visit to your doctor for a bone density scan, DEXA scan, to get a proper diagnosis. To address this, follow this simple step. Stand with your back against a wall and use a pencil to mark your height. Make sure you're standing straight with your heels, back, and head all touching the wall. Do this once a year, on the same day. If you notice a loss of more than 1 inch in a single year, or a total loss of over 1.5 inches from your peak height, it's time to call your doctor. That was sign number 1. But Mary's story doesn't end there. The next sign she missed was even more common, and you're probably missing it too. 2. Weak grip strength. The fading grip. During one of her appointments, Mary mentioned her difficulty with daily tasks. I dropped a ceramic mug the other day, she said, her voice full of frustration. My grip just isn't what it used to be. It's like my hands are losing their strength. She saw it as a sign of normal weakness, a small price to pay for getting older. I explained to her, Mary, a strong grip is like the grip your bones have on themselves. When bones lose density, your entire musculoskeletal system weakens, including the muscles in your hands. Your hands are the first warning system. She seemed confused. But it's just a little weakness, doctor. How can that be a sign of something bigger? It's a biological connection, I clarified. Your muscles and bones work together in a synergistic dance. When one starts to falter, the other often follows. A study published in the journal Bone found that poor grip strength is a strong predictor of low bone mineral density and future fractures in older adults. Mary slumped in her chair. So all those years, I thought I was just being clumsy, but I was really just seeing a symptom of my bones getting weaker. Exactly, I gently said, but we can get them back to work. This is especially important if you have a family history of fractures or osteoporosis. A decline in grip strength can be a major risk factor for falls and fractures. Always speak with your doctor or a physical therapist to ensure your dietary and exercise choices are safe and effective. To fix this, get a soft rubber ball, a tennis ball, or a stress ball. Squeeze it as hard as you can for 5 seconds. Repeat this exercise 10 times per hand, once or twice a day. This simple exercise will help to strengthen the muscles in your hands and forearms, improving your grip, and serving as a daily reminder to be mindful of your body's strength. If you thought those first 2 signs were surprising, Mary's third sign was the one that made her question everything she thought she knew about a healthy morning routine. 3. Receding gums and dental problems. The bone thief. Mary's third sign was something she hadn't even mentioned in relation to her wrist. I've been having more trouble at the dentist lately, she told me. My gums seem to be pulling away from my teeth, and they keep telling me I'm at risk for tooth loss. To her, this seemed completely unrelated to her bones. I explained, Mary, the key issue here isn't just one problem, it's a systemic one. The jawbone anchors your teeth, and just like the rest of your bones, it is a living tissue that relies on a constant supply of calcium. When your body is low on calcium, it will steal it from your jawbone, causing the gums to recede and teeth to loosen. She looked at her reflection with a frown. So the very thing I thought was a simple dental problem was actually a sign that my bones were in trouble. Exactly, I confirmed. And when your body doesn't get enough calcium from food, it has to find it somewhere else. It starts pulling it directly from your bones, including your jaw. It's like your body is a bank, and you've been making withdrawals from your savings account every day for decades. This is especially important for those with pre-existing conditions like osteoporosis. Don't assume dental problems are isolated. If your dentist mentions receding gums or bone loss in your jaw, that's a critical conversation to have with your primary care doctor. The solution here is to discuss your jawbone density with your dentist at your next appointment. Ask if they've noticed any bone loss or gum recession. Your dentist is in a unique position to see the first visible signs of bone loss. By starting this conversation, you're becoming an active participant in your own bone health. Now, if you thought those first 3 signs were surprising, Mary's 4th sign was the one that truly drove home the silent nature of this disease: postural changes. The question mark. Stance. Mary's 4th sign was something I noticed the moment she walked into my clinic. She had what we call a question mark posture, a subtle forward-leaning stance with rounded shoulders. She would often stand with her hands on her lower back, as if trying to push herself upright. I explained, "Mary, your posture is like the blueprint of your skeleton. When your vertebrae, the small bones in your spine, lose density, they can't support your body's weight as effectively. The result is a gradual rounding of the back, leading to that question mark stance. It's your body's way of trying to compensate for a weakened structure." She seemed puzzled. "But I've been trying to stand up straight my whole life. I can't seem to help it." "I know," I gently said. "It's not about willpower. It's a physical change that happens over time. According to the National Osteoporosis Foundation, a change in posture, such as a hunched back, kyphosis, is one of the most common signs of advanced osteoporosis." Mary's face fell. "So my posture wasn't just a bad habit? It was a physical symptom." "Exactly," I confirmed. "But we can take steps to improve it." This is especially important for those who spend a lot of time sitting or have a history of back pain. Postural changes can significantly increase your risk of falls and further spinal fractures. If you are noticing a change in your posture, talk to your doctor and consider working with a physical therapist. A simple solution is to find a wall and stand with your back flat against it, making sure your head, shoulders, and hips are touching the surface. Gently press your lower back into the wall. Hold this position for 30 seconds, 3 times a day. This simple exercise helps to gently stretch the chest muscles and strengthen the back muscles, which can counteract the effects of a hunched posture. Now we come to the 5th and final sign. Mary's 5th sign was a very personal one, and it was the one that ultimately led her to my clinic. 5. Brittle nails. The canary in the coal mine. After her fracture, Mary mentioned that her nails had become extremely brittle. "They're always splitting and breaking," she said, holding out her hands. "I just thought it was from all the quilting." She had no idea this was a potential sign of a deeper issue. I explained, "Mary, your nails and your bones are built from similar raw materials. If your body doesn't have enough of the building blocks, like calcium and collagen, it shows up in the most visible places first. Your nails are like the canaries in the coal mine for your bone health." She looked at her nails with a new sense of understanding. So the very thing I thought was a cosmetic problem was a sign of a real, physical one. "Exactly," I confirmed. "And when your body is low on these key nutrients, it has to find them somewhere else. It starts pulling them from your bones and muscles, and the first place you see the evidence is often in your hair and nails. This is especially important for those who are on calcium supplements or medication for bone health. Brittle nails can be a sign that your body isn't absorbing nutrients effectively, and it's vital to discuss this with your doctor to ensure your treatment is working as it should." So what should you do? Increase your intake of calcium and biotin. Your goal is to aim for at least 100 milligrams of calcium and 30 micrograms of biotin daily. A simple way to do this is to try a smoothie with 1 cup, 240 milliliters, of plain Greek yogurt, around 200 milligrams of calcium, and a 1/4 cup of almonds, around 100 milligrams of calcium, for breakfast. This simple diet change provides your body with the key nutrients it needs to build healthy bones and nails. A new beginning for Mary. So, what happened to Mary after we addressed these 5 simple but deadly signs? Her story is proof that a little knowledge can make a life-changing difference. 3 months later, Mary returned to my clinic. But this time, she walked with a strong, confident stride. Her posture was straight, and her eyes were bright. She told me she was now able to quilt again, lifting a small watering can without pain, something she hadn't been able to do for 3 years. She no longer felt like she was shrinking away. She was living a healthy, active, and happy life. She looked at me with a grateful smile and said, "Doctor, I never thought a simple thing like my posture or my nails could be a sign of something bigger. Thank you for showing me how to listen to my body. It's like you gave me my joy back." Today, we've uncovered the 5 silent warning signs of osteoporosis that were secretly stealing Mary's strength. 1. Height loss, a subtle shrinking of your body that signals spinal compression. 2. Weak grip strength, a fading grip that indicates systemic bone weakening. 3. Receding gums, a dental problem that is often a symptom of bone loss in your jaw. 4. Postural changes, a question mark stance that signals weakened vertebrae. 5. Brittle nails, a cosmetic issue that is often the first visible sign of a nutrient deficiency. We've uncovered simple, powerful ways to listen to your body and take action. Now, let me ask you, what's your dream? Is it hiking through nature with your loved ones? Dancing joyfully on the dance floor at your grandchild's wedding? Or simply moving through your day with ease and confidence? Share your story and aspirations in the comments below. I'd love to hear what drives you. If this message sparks something in you, type "yes" in the comments. And please share this video with those who could benefit from these life-changing insights. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay in the loop for more health tips tailored just for you. I'm Dr. Miller from Senior Fit Nation, and I'm making you a promise. Tomorrow morning, as you begin your day, pause and reflect on the signs we've explored. Make one small tweak. Then picture this. How would it feel to move with less pain, with a renewed spring in your step? I'll be back soon with more ways to help you thrive.